MCL, the world in your home.
Good morning, and you're welcome to the Thursday edition of your breakfast program on TV. Good morning, Abia. My name is Michael Ufonye, and of course, I have Ezenewa for me, isn't it? Good morning, it's nice to have you on the breakfast program.
Good morning, Michael.
All right, what we do on this program is to bring you up to speed in all that is making around there in the Southeast, and of course, we are the voice of the Southeast. We're coming to you live here from our bar studio, isn't it? So much to talk about. Abia is 28. How do you feel? Are you celebrating? Let me kind of refine my words. Are you celebrating? Is there cause to celebrate?
I don't think there is any cause to celebrate because looking at your state of 28 years, we don't have much to write home about. We're looking at development, infrastructure, security, health, education. Well, let us
when you talk about education, Abia has been known to be, for the past 4 years, going to the 5 years now, Abia has always come tops when it comes to West African examination results. So, do you think that alone is worth celebrating in terms of education?
Well, I should give Abia a personal honor.
And of course, what do you think about infrastructure? How are we faring?
That should be 2 over 10.
Well, sorry, I'm putting you on the top spot. Well, believe me, if you ask me, there's so much to celebrate at 28. I was talking to a couple of friends 2 days ago, and because one of the exact words I want to quote my friend Aki, he said, "Well, the truth is, you must give it to Abians completely because going through a lot of toxic survey." The Abia people, the Abia man is still out there doing what is right, and believe me, there's always light at the end of every dark tunnel. We'll get there. All we need to do is believe and pray. Do your best, and also allow the government also to do his. And believe me, we shall come to the point where we shall say, this is our state. We have no other state to call ours except Abia State. All right, quickly, what we'll do on this program is bring you up to speed, all that is making rounds here in Abia State, and also taking you to outside the shores of this country where we'll bring you news making rounds. But before we do, our first point of call is to go on the words of marble. The words of marble, the words that spoils you and I to be a greater person. And because the words of marble this morning propels back, and it says,
to serve is beautiful, but only if it is done with joy and a whole heart. To serve is beautiful, but only if it is done with joy and a whole heart.
Believe me, to serve it's beautiful, If you're doing it with so much passion in your heart, if you're doing it and you're not being forced to do it, and when you do it, you see yourself contributing to a quarter, believe me, there's always joy to know that I was part of this success, I was part of this, I was part of that. And so this morning, to serve, who are you serving? It depends. And the first question you should also ask yourself is, do you derive pleasure in serving people? Do you derive pleasure in doing the right thing? Do you derive pleasure in helping people? And believe me, I remember when Abiola said something, a very notable quote. He says, I like to give because when I give, my hand is always at the top and the receiver is always underneath my hand. And so when God showers his blessing, it touches me as the giver before the receiver. And so to serve, it's beautiful. Even do it with your heart, isn't it? Of course, this morning you'll be serving us the news, and of course, do it with your whole heart. Back to you.
On the news segment of Good Morning Abia, the federal government has approved a reduction in visa charges payable by United States citizens from $180 to $160. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rab Areboshola, explained on Wednesday that the Comptroller General of Nigeria Immigration Service, Mohammed Abandade, has been directed to implement the decrease in the visa charges with effect from Thursday. The development was sequel to the new visa regime announced by the U.S. government on Tuesday, stating that Nigerians applying for U.S. visas will be required to pay a visa issuance fee or reciprocity fee with effect from August 2019. The U.S. mission in Abuja had said that the reciprocity fee will be charged in addition to the non-immigrant visa application fee, also known as the machine-readable visa fee, which all applicants pay at the time of application. By the new policy, applicants are required to pay $110 for B1, B2, B1/B2, F1 and F2, while H1B and H4 visas are charged $180. I-visa applicants would cop out $210, while L1, L2 applicants will pay $303 and RI and R2 $80. It explained that the reciprocity fee was applicable to all approved applications for non-immigrant visas in B, F, H1B, I, L, and R visa classifications, noting that Nigerian citizens whose applications for a non-immigrant visa were denied will, however, not be charged the new reciprocity fee. The Nigerian police force on Wednesday arraigned in court a former army officer that reportedly killed a motorcyclist in Obingwa, Abia State. The now dismissed former Corporal Johnson Ajayi is now arraigned for murder. Ajayi had on August 7 shot and killed one Chimobi Wombo, an Okada rider in Umokere-Kemwa in Obingwa local government area, over 100 naira bribe. He was later dismissed by the army after an orderly room trial and was subsequently handed over to the police in Abia for prosecution. During the arraignment, the police prosecutor Adeyemi Olukoya said the soldier was charged for a sole offense of murder. As for his defense counsel, the suspect, who is from Kogi State, said he was not allowed access to a defense counsel. In his ruling, the presiding magistrate, Linda Obaja, referred the case to the Office of the State Director of Public Prosecution for onward transmission to the High Court. She remanded the accused in the state prison while adjourning the matter to the 16th of September 2019. The governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, has launched the construction of 13.5 billion naira rural road project. The World Bank Assisted Rural Access and Mobility Project (RAMP) include 380.7 kilometers of the rural road across the 27 local government areas of the state. Speaking at the flag off at Onimo, Isu, and Mbitolo local government areas of the state, Governor Ihedioha assured the readiness of his administration to partner development agencies for the betterment of the state. The governor said he approved the swift payment of the counterpart fund to activate the project upon assumption of office. The governor revealed his administration's intention to revive the Imo Rural Roads Maintenance Agency (IRROMA) to ensure that no part of Imo State rural areas remain inaccessible due to bad roads. Governor Ihedioha assured that construction of the state's urban and major link roads will commence in earnest. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Rural Development, Richmond Osuji said the state government had approved the payment of 15% initial mobilization fund for the project. He also disclosed that the state government has mapped out funds to compensate owners of properties that will be affected in the course of the project. The national coordinator of RAMP, Odadoma Olaramo, says the Imo State is the 5th state in the country that have partnered with the agency. The Federal High Court, Abuja, on Wednesday refused to grant the motion filed by Mr. Omoyele Sowore, convener Revolution Now protest challenging his detention for 45 days by the Department of State Security. Justice Nkonyi Maya, who declined all applications by counsel to Sowore, Femi Falana, SAN, sent the case back to Justice Taiwo for further hearing. Falana, who had asked the court to set aside the escort order granted by Justice Taiwo, also applied for oral bail when Justice Maha rejected the earlier application. Sowore, who is presently in detention, had on August 9th approached the court seeking an order to vacate the escort order that gave the DSS the legal backing to detain him for 45 days. Justice Taiwo had, in a ruling on an expert application on August 8th, ordered Showore's detention for the said period to enable the DSS to carry out and conclude its investigation on allegations levied against him. The DSS had also, on August 20th, challenged the court order allowing it to detain Showore for 45 days against its request of 90 days pending investigation. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has recovered 186 million naira from suspects in connection with the Federal Bureau of Investigation probe into the list of nearly 80 Nigerians indicted for fraud. The acting chairman of the commission, Ibrahim Magu, said the collaboration between the commission and the FBI led to the recovery of the funds. Magu said while the sum of $314,000 had been recovered, the sum of 373 million naira had been traced to various commercial banks by the Lagos Zonal Office of the Commission. He also disclosed that the recent joint operations coordinated by the Commission have yielded 28 arrests. The EFCC boss further said that 14 suspects have been charged and convicted. Magu disclosed that 9 of the suspects are currently undergoing trial, while 5 are still under investigations. The FBI has released a list of 80 persons, mostly Nigerians, for their alleged role in email scams in which 9 Americans were duped of over $70 million. The National Examination Council, NECO, has released the June-July 2019 Senior School Certificate Examination. The results was released barely a month after the exercise was conducted. The acting registrar of the council, Abubakar Ghana, announced this in the council headquarters in Mina, Niger State on Tuesday. Ghana said 829,787 candidates representing the 71.5% met 5 credits and above, including in English and mathematics. He said 40,630, representing 3.53% of the candidates, were involved in various forms of malpractice. This was against 20,181 cases recorded in 2018, representing an increase of over 50%. Ghana said the rise in the number of malpractice cases in 2019 was not unconnected with the deployment of the new biometric verification device used in the 2019 SSC. Benin protest hyperplasia, also called prostate gland enlargement, is a common health condition amongst men, especially when getting older. A medical practitioner in this report, while speaking with MCL News, enlightened the public on the causes, symptoms, and treatment of prostate gland enlargement. Ruto House completes the report.
Medical experts say that enlargement of the prostate occurs when the cells of the prostate gland begin to multiply. The additional cells cause the prostate gland to swell, which experts say squeezes the urethra and limits the flow of urine. Also known as benign prostate hyperplasia, BPH, enlargement of the prostate is a normal condition of male aging. It affects mostly men from 50 years and above. Speaking to MCL News, a medical practitioner speaks on the risk factors and symptoms of enlargement of the prostate. He also differentiates prostate enlargement and prostate cancer.
The diamond-shaped organ is situated at the back of the bladder, in between the neck of the bladder and the first part of the urethra. It also occurs in families. If the father or any of the siblings, if any of them has such a case, another brother or any of the siblings may also have it. We have people that are fat, obesity. If you are obese or overweight, you are prone to have this disease. This race inclined to is mainly seen in the blacks than in the whites. People that doesn't do exercise at all, lack of exercise. These are predisposing factors.
Urgency, hesitancy, dribbling of urine, filling of incomplete void. That is the sequence it goes. Then the person may also have what you call a hematuria. Hematuria is blood in urine.
Although the exact cause is unknown, changes in male hormones that come with aging may be a factor.
Treatment depends on the age of the patient. If it is cancerous, the level of the stage of the cancer. If it's benign, and the person starts having urinary retention or not. More fruit and vegetables help us to have they release a very powerful antioxidants that will help to fight the free radicals in our body. So it's good for people to be eating fruits, vegetables. Do exercise. Don't stay without having exercise. So you must do one or two, at least 30 minutes in a day or 15 minutes in a day. Then another one is very important, is that if you are taking alcohol, you must reduce the intake of alcohol. If you are taking cigarette smoking, you must stop cigarette smoking. For fruits, vegetable, and adequate exercise will help people to reduce.
Men at 50 years and above have been advised to go for regular checkup, as this will go a long way in early detection of the ailment and possible cure. Eating a balanced diet, especially fruits and vegetables, exercise, avoiding a sedentary lifestyle, experts say still remain the best ways to prevent prostate enlargement. Ruth Ohams, MCL News.
Courtesy and reverence are synonymous with modesty. Presently, it seems that caution has been thrown to the wind as people engage in indecent dressing with no regards to its moral and social implications. Such immodest dress code has even penetrated into sacred places such as places of worship. Against this background, MCL News takes a look on the implication of indecent dressing and its roots. The reports.
Poor parenting, peer pressure, wrong use of social media, and erosion of moral values have been identified as some of the factors leading to indecent dressing. Indecent dressing is a habit that has virtually been embraced by all age groups in the society. Speaking on the ugly trend, respondents say the practice does not conform to the norms and the cultural values, including the dressing code of Africans. They lamented that the ugly trend has taken a dangerous dimension as it has become a common sight seeing youths and adults walking down the streets wearing clothes and revealing attires that exposes the vital parts of the body, adding that it debases the dignity of womanhood.
So recently people have engaged in this campaign of self-love, self-crush. You see them in status updates. I'm loving myself. So they feel that loving yourself is by exposing the contours of your body, or by exposing the contours of your body or dressing indecently, you attract people to you. No, when you dress indecently, people you attract are people that want to take advantage of your body, and not people that mean serious business or of good intent that will come around you.
Once you dress well, like they say, the way you dress is the way people will address you. So if you want to be addressed as a tout, you dress like a tout. But if you want to be addressed like a human being, you also dress like a human being.
It's not proper because when somebody don't dress how it ought to be, people look at you as somebody who is not responsible.
Others who equally condemned indecent dressing stress that it does not enhance dressing code, rather it reduces the dignity and respect of those indulged in it, while it encourages sexual harassment and other immoral acts bedeviling the society. They expressed fear and condemned the high level of indecent dressing witnessed in places of worship, especially by ladies. This act, they say, is contributing to the increase in the rate of immorality.
If it be that I pastor one or two people, heaven rejoice over it. Looking at them, they appear decently. I'm happy than having thousands crowd before God. God is not happy.
Sometimes there are so many organizations or firms you may enter. It will deprive you from not getting what you want. And also there are some people that you will not talk to because of the way you dress. So I feel that the way we dress matters a lot to the public.
Other respondents pointed that government, churches, schools, and parents have a major role to play in curbing the menace of indecency in the society. They enjoined religious leaders to strongly preach against indecent dressing. Iziniwafo, MC.
For a blissful marriage, the family of Justice Innocent and Lady Akudo Mwabogo has celebrated their silver jubilee wedding anniversary. MCL News covered the 25 years wedding anniversary, which began with a church service at the All Saints Anglican Church, Umochan, Abia. Amanda Carlo, service.
In his sermon, the officiating minister and Bishop of Abangwa North Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Nathan C. Okano, prayed for the couple and urged all in attendance to make the Word of God the foundation for a successful marriage.
From every evil counsel is to live the Word of God, live well. When you live it out, the devil won't take it back to us. If you are in doubt, ask a bishop. I am willing, the devil won't take it back to us.
After the church service, the Silver Jubilee celebration train moved to the residence of Justice and Lady Mwabogo for the reception ceremony. Family and friends were given a treat in fine cuisine and good music. Some who granted MCL News audience spoke glowingly about the couple.
We encourage the celebrants to continue on the path that sustained them to this age and encourage other young couples to emulate.
Thank you, God. Show gratitude to God for His grace all these 25 years, and to make a statement of faith that the next 25 years will be greater than this one that has just gone.
I pray and I give my advice to continue taking care after the husband and the children. God will help them to grow more.
We are rejoicing and praying that all of us will get to the point that they've gotten today. It's a thing of joy, it's a thing of success. We thank God for His grace.
The couple, in their vote of thanks, expressed deep appreciation for those in attendance.
We thank God for blissful relationship and marriage. It has been wonderful, full of good moments. We have had our challenges as usual in marriages, but we have nothing to regret at all. We are only thankful to God.
This length of stay in marriage for me has taught me so much. I have learned so much. I have matured within these 25 years.
Justice Innocent and Lady Akudo Mwabogo are indigents of Umule in Osisioma, Abangwa local government area in Abia State. The couple is blessed with 5 children. Amanda Carlo, MCL News.
And with that news, we'll be going for a break. More news will come your way from the newspaper review. Stay with us.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, let's say still good morning, Abia, your breakfast program coming to you live here from our Abia studio. It's time for us to take a look at the papers, and of course this morning we have 3 papers on our deck, starting with the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun at the top right corner of the paper comes up with Ruga never collected bribe from federal government, and of course it's coming from Abia, and that could be found on page 6 of the paper. And of course the big bold headlines this morning from the paper is internet fraud, wait for more shocker. EFCC says commission will unravel bigger suspect, begins clampdown on bankers. BDC operators detained 2 top officials of NDPHC, others over 16 billion naira power probe, and that can be found on page 4, page 5, and page 11 of the paper. Smiling faces, if you ask me, of course, the picture that says speaks volume, and that is the governor of Imo State. History was made as Imo joins health insurance scheme. Governor Emeka of Imo State being signed on yesterday in the ESCO chamber, Owerri, and behind him from left are Deputy Governor Gerald Irona, Secretary to the State Government Uche Odogocha, Commissioner of Health Dr. Vin Odochukwu, Executive Secretary Imo State Health Insurance Agency Dr. John Onyekoro, and Estella Mbadwe, Special Advisor to the Governor on Health. And of course, close to that is Governor Wike calls for establishment of state police, and of course that will be found on page 5 of the paper. And Governor exposes El Zazaki, accuses strike leaders of plotting to Islamize Nigeria, not recognizing President Buhari as the president of the country. And of course that will be found on page 6 of the paper. Let's quickly take it to the back page, and of course it is the public forum. And guess who the host is this morning? Chimaroke Namani says, Ndibo, a reality of a virtual nation. Okay, if you're asking, you're trying to find out more about the reality of the Igbo nation, we say please get yourself the Daily Sun. Of course, isn't it one for still with me, isn't it? What paper do you have with you?
The Nation newspaper. On the Nation newspaper, the top left corner, we have Igbo monarchs back in Ihedioha on Okorocha probe. That could be found on page 44 of the Nation newspaper. Moving to the top right corner of the paper, we have Showore Kanu forms anti-government pact. That could be seen on page 10 of the Nation newspaper. We have federal government costs visa fees for U.S. citizens. That could also be seen on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. And the sports headline there says, Okabare, while I didn't protest 100 meters ban. You can see that on page 47 of the Nation newspaper. Still on the Nation, we have Wike 6 creation of state police. That could be found on page 44 of the Nation newspaper. Beneath that headline, we have Udom, I didn't bribe church. That could be found on page 44, and Nigeria's shop attacked in South Africa. That could be seen on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. EFCC begins probe of $16 billion power spending. You can see that on page 6 of the Nation newspaper, and there is a picture element there. You can see the president smiling with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, and the Chairman and President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. You can also see Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo, and this is the African leaders at the opening of the 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Yokohama, Japan, yesterday. Coming to the big bold headline, we have governors to meet as mixed reactions through MDDC board. While Ugwani recruited 1,700 forest guards, that could be seen on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. We have a picture element of the Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwani with the new commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Enugu State Command, that is ECOBO, having a handshake. We also have Ujoyus happy as Mossad others protest. You can see that on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Beneath that, we have a headline, Bayelsa APC primary for Saturday. That could be seen on page 44 of the Nation newspaper, and sack soldier for murder trial in Abia. You can also find that on page 44 of the Nation newspaper. Coming to the back page, we have woke youths muzzle snooze. You can see the picture of the president, and he says, beneath is radical chance, however, subsidies and immoderate hankering for money and safety. Some call this an appellation for slumber, but he is woke, and woke youths mustn't snooze. That's all we can take from the Nation newspaper. Back to you, Michael.
And of course, leaving the Nation newspaper, the next point of call is the New Telegraph. At the top of the paper comes up with closed summer borders to stop massive rice import. And of course, that is coming from the president. And of course, underneath that, it is Magu EFCC gathering intelligence on Nigerians indicted in the US, and that could be found on page 9 of the paper. Court declines Solomon's request to review 45 days detention order, and that could be found on page 3 of the paper. Police rescue abducted final year law students, that could be found on page 8 of the paper. Fitch falls CBN on measures to boost lending, and that could be found on page 30. And of course, the writer this morning from the paper, the big bold headlines to go with this morning is Iran is sponsoring al-Zawahiri to Islamize Nigeria, says federal government, and that could be found on page 2 of the paper. Says the Shiites do not recognize Buhari as president as court fixes September 11 to hear IMM federal government's application. Well, if you go to Bayelsa, if you were in Bayelsa yesterday, the picture element there shows cow taking the street of Bayelsa, and it says cattle on Bayelsa Palm Expressway in Yellowwood yesterday. Alright? Underneath that is federal government shifts ground, splashes visa fee for US citizens, and says US embassy denies blocking visa interview appointment, and that could be found on page 4. And of course, the tip for the health, a tip says that stress raises risk of memory loss in later years to come, and that could be found on page 6 of the paper. Let's take it to the back page, and of course, this morning is a discreet and the real issue is political music, and it's coming from Ike Abia, and of course, that is the face of the #1 man in Enugu. Well, it is time for us to talk. If there are any other papers here that catches your fancy, and there's something you need to bring to your paper, free call the numbers on your TV screen, and please, if you must call us, reduce the volume of your TV set so we can hear you. Isn't it tick? Time to talk. So let's start with the New Telegraph coming up with al-Zawahiri is being sponsored by Iran, planning to Islamize Nigeria. That is coming from the federal government. What do you think?
How true is the statement?
Well, for every, believe me, somebody once said, for every lies, there's a big atom of truth in it. But if you ask me, if the federal government will come up and say this, believe me, there is more to it. And of course, if you ask me which report will I believe, that is the federal government talking. And of course, they might have done all investigation to come up to say, look, we believe that Iran is sponsoring al-Zawahiri. But the question is, what does Iran have to gain to Islamize Nigeria? And how possible, and how do you intend to do that? Are you going to wipe all the Christians in Nigeria, or are you going to make the Christians to turn Muslims overnight? Well, I think our greatest problem so far is religion has been one of the greatest problems. Somebody once posted and said, just pause for a while, think deep. Where there is no religion, definitely we will love ourselves more better. But I also want to just put out to say it's not a crime to have a belief It's not a crime, but you must respect the other person's belief. And of course, if we do that, there will be peace and harmony in the country. I believe in the entity called Nigeria. And of course, it's not only news that the court has set September 11, where there will be asking members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria to come in and give their own part of the story. Of course, isn't it? It's no longer news that this morning, if you go to the American embassy applying for a visa, you will be paying more. And of course, the reasons why the U.S. embassy has decided to increase the visa fee was after making complaints to the Nigerian government, talking about the Nigerian embassy in America to cut down on the visa fee, and the federal government refused to do that. And so what they did was to say, okay, let us pay ourselves the right way. If our people is going to pay so much to get into Nigeria, then your people will pay triple to get into America. And so it is do me, I do you. And so, well, thank God this morning, the new Minister of Interior, talking about Ralph, and I decided to move in and said, no, come on. You can't exploit our citizens to pay this much. I'll take a look at it, and believe me, in swift reaction, he quickly shifts ground. He says, the government shifts ground, splashes visa fee for U.S. citizens getting into the country. That's what we're saying. When people that are in authority listen, believe me, it is 70% of the work done. And of course, let's also talk about what is making rounds. And of course, it was also part of our discussions last week when the FBI gave those cops in America that were involved in money laundering, and also talk about almost all of them Nigerians, as a matter of fact. And of course, the whole world was shocked when the names were actually published. And one of the man that was arrested, his fiancée, actually came and said, I never knew my man to be. He comes back big, large, spending money, but I never believed he was into internet fraud. And this morning, isn't it glad to know that the internet fraud, EFCC says they're going to give us more shocker, that so much, and a lot of people, they say even the bank is not out of it.
Yes,
So what do you think?
Well, I think it's a good move. It's a great development, like fishing out the culprits. At least it can help.
Yeah, it will help, because believe me, if you step out to the shores, if you step out of this country and you put on a green passport, as soon as you head to the immigration bureau, and of course you see a stained look. And the question is, what is wrong with green? The world is going eco-friendly. Green is an eco-friendly. People should embrace our passport. But believe me, when it comes to Nigerian passport, it's never an eco-friendly passport. Once any immigration officer, that's not a Nigerian immigration, sees a green passport, the look changes. And the question is, why? Why should people have to go overseas and run down the green passport? Hello, we have a caller. Caller, good morning, and tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Good morning. Do you have a green passport? All right. What's your take? Hello. Okay, please, can you speak up a bit? Vincent, can you speak up a bit so we can hear you, please? Okay, yes, go ahead. Why is it funny? Well, that is the finding of the federal government. I think what we should do is let's have an open mind and see how it goes. September 16th, have been put in. September 11th. I beg your pardon. Have been put in as when they will appear in court, and of course, believe me, it's going to be more canker warm. So just stay tuned and let's see how it goes. Thank you, Vincent, for calling on the program. And let me, hello, Vincent. Before you go, Vincent, are you there? Hello? Yes. Do you have a green passport? Do you have a green passport, Nigerian passport to be precise? Do you have a Nigerian passport? Yes, I do. How do you feel when you give your Nigerian passport to immigration, other immigration, apart from the Nigerian immigration? What kind of look, what kind of reception do you get? Alright, so sorry, Vincent, I'm sure you can hear me right now because you're watching me right there. I say, if you have a green passport and you're traveling out of the country, what kind of reception do you get when you give the immigrations your passport? What kind of look do you get? Well, please come us back and tell us if you have any experience while traveling out of the country, and of course, the kind of steady look you get when you give your passport to people on the other side. Okay, if you must call us, the number there is on your TV screen, 08177457728. Ezine and I will be here to talk to you. Ezine, and of course, there's reactions from people. Of course, the federal government, I'm talking about the president, has still put his feet on ground to say, look, we will not allow rice to come in, and that's why we're asking that the shutdown of 7 borders. And of course, the Benuans are complaining to say, look, because we rely so much on Nigeria, and closing down the border has been a serious problem, and things are getting very expensive, especially in Badagry, who is just very close to the border. And people will say, well, let us begin to look inward and begin to manage and patronize what we have. Have you eaten Nigerian rice? I asked you this. You've eaten Nigerian rice? Oh, great.
Yes.
Where? Here in Abia?
Here in Abia.
Oh, really?
Yes. How about you?
Well, I'm still looking for Nigerian rice, and hopefully, but how's it taste? But I know very well that I eat Ofada rice. And Ofada rice is Nigerian rice, I want to presume. And of course, somebody said if you go to Enugu, where you have a lot of that. And of course, the Abia state government is also trying to invest in rice. I know that. And okay, let's see who the caller is. Guess Vincent is calling back. Hello, good morning. Yes, Vincent, I was asking you a question, so I'm sure now you have an answer for me. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Vincent, for getting. Go ahead.
What about the
Alright, thank you, Vincent, for time's sake. Thank you very much. So others can also contribute. Thank you. I'm sure those in authority watching this program, I'm sure they will react to some of your suggestions that you have given. Alright, we'll go for a break, and when we come back, the program Good Morning Abia still continues. Please do stay with us.
show on TV.
Welcome to MCL.
You're welcome back, and if you did join us, this is still Good Morning Abia, your breakfast program on TV. And of course, we've been taking a look at the newspaper and internet fraud was our last discussion before we went on that break. And of course, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, sir. Hello? Hello? Alright, we missed that. And if you must call us, please reduce the volume of your TV set so we can hear you. Alright, isn't it? Nigerians have reacted, especially the Igbos, saying, look, it is not just an Igbo pain, it is a Nigerian pain. Despite the fact that the culprits are all Igbos, that it is better to see it as a Nigerian thing and not an Igbo thing. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree with that.
It should be a Nigerian thing, not an Igbo thing. But I'm going to ask you some questions backstage because a lot of people are tongue wagging, a lot of people are talking and asking, what is wrong with our youths? What is wrong with the system? Get Rich has gotten into a world that people no longer believe and respect family names. Alright, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning, caller. Hello? Alright, look, please, I've just been told by the director to please go to the next segment, and so this is how far we can go on the program talking about the newspaper review. So we can talk about Abia at 28, and of course that will be our discussion this morning. And guess we will discuss, we're taking a look at security in Abia State, starting from the day Abia was created and today. Let's all see how we have fared for 28 years. And of course, our guest, Emperor Obona, is already here at the studio. We'll go for a break and then we'll come back. Any time for us to talk. Take it. Stay with us.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Guy, you know that yellow papa where they were sweet where so?
Wait, which one? That one where they keep for me? Now my babe now.
Free me job. If you not get money, hide your face. I hide my face.
Come, now me you talk like that. Guy, I be big boy. You see this TV show? You know how much I buy them? 200k, see this one. Where go like to the market rat?
True? Now me they call market rat. See all those Gucci and Pate where hush puppy they show for Instagram so. Now me buy them for her.
Guy, you know e-money? E-money na my boy. Money where you display, now me give am.
See this one oh, you know that Linda Cage house for Banana Island? Now me dash her.
That one a house? Maybe you know OBO Davido. That 30 billion where they account. Now me borrow am.
Forget it. You see that snake where swallow jam money? Now me send them. Now CBN they go next.
Tuale Baba. Ah hello, Tuale. Where is they?
True? Plus, you just had a like, eat my back.
Hey, what did you do?
Oh yes, you can now purchase MCL decoder and also pay for your subscription at our corporate office located at number 9B Obibo Street opposite Keystone Bank, or MCL outlets located at number 203 Fox Road opposite Heritage Bank by Samek Junction, Aba. Or our accredited sales agents, Abarusia Holdings, Zone 18, Shop C, LQA4, Shopping Center, Aba. Best Choice Electronics, Zone 16, ET65 Up, behind Eco Bank, Ehi Road Branch, Abia Shopping Center. Sinform Investment Nigeria Limited, Zone 12, AS28, Shopping Center, Abia. Ever Blessed Yahweh Electronics, 156 Ekote Pene Road, Abia. Matiko Communication, number 93 Hospital Road, opposite.
One-stop breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Welcome to MCL Customer Care Service Information. Please listen to the following instruction upon observation of any of the following on your television screen. Bad signal. Kindly check the positioning of your antenna or system wire connection. Initial card failure or card error. Please remove and bring your smart card to the office. One is just a
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, let's be still good morning, Abia, your breakfast program on TV. And of course, it's time for us to talk. This morning, we're taking a look at Abia State at 28. And of course, our point of discussion this morning, we're taking a critical look at Abia at 28, and security is what we're taking a look at. Sitting at the left corner, on my side is Barrister Emperor Obona. Barrister Emperor Obona is a human rights activist, and of course a strong voice when it comes to saying it the way it is. Barrister Emperor, it is nice to have you on the breakfast program.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you on your 28. You should be smiling faces. Thank you, you're laughing. You're welcome to the program. Because Isibio Substance need no introduction when it comes to this program. Isibio Substance is a seasoned journalist, a broadcaster, and also a human rights activist. Isibio, well, is the red town a symbol for love at 28?
Yes, I think we are happy we have blocked 28. The issue is we have blocked 28. What are the achievements?
Okay, there's a many more we'll be discussing on the program, so please, you want to stay with us. If there are questions or whatever contributions you need to make, please be very quick, because we have a lot to talk on this morning. Quickly, I'd like to start with you, Barrister Emperor. Abia at 28. If you look back when the state was created by the former military president, talking about General Ibrahim Babangida, and of course, what do you think? Are you happy to see Abia at 28?
Well, the truth about it, if I have to be honest to you, is that I am not happy. That's the truth. The truth about it is that we have a failure of infrastructure in Abia State. We have ever since the new RSA was created, from the military, from the time of Ikemosu to the time of Hamadi Kocha. Hamadi Kocha was the state. Ikemosu, by the time of Frank Ajodona, by the time of you are sure of them, even of them. From there, we talk about Professor Carlo, I talk about all of them. Other states, to me, have not really fared very, very well. The government, we only remember him with Agatawa, which he constructed on the federal road. We also remember Ikewosu, not for any infrastructure, but just because he was chasing students around and making them to come to school early. That was actually what we remember him for. Then Professor Carlo, we also remember him, he tried to do some roads, but unfortunately, the roads he did were very substandard, they didn't really last. And we also saw at that time, we saw a situation where Kuja Shrine became the symbol of Abia State, where people were taken to the shrines and they were made to swear. We also saw during his government, Mamacracy, where his mother became the alter ego of government. If you want to get any political power, you have to go to Make Street to do ABC. That was actually what we saw at that time. His government, the most of it was that he abdicated his responsibilities to his mother, and family government became a family business. He talked about his brother mascot. He talked about his brother Nana mascot, himself, everybody, and his mother. It was now a family. Other state became a family affair under his government. And we saw some infrastructures he did, there is no doubt. But it's about that those infrastructures did not really last. Then we come under TUG, who, with all due respect to him, appeared to his government was actually one of the worst government we have ever had in Abia State. Not him, but his government. That's the truth. It was so bad that when he comes to Abba will start throwing pure waters at him. Because his government was actually the worst government ever in the history of Abia State.
But it's not possible that you failed in Abba but did well in other areas.
Well, I don't know. There is no place good.
No. I mean, you
yes, let me explain. Yes, okay. Let me do in my own side, the old building. It's a number of nothing really. The 2 years did not do too much. They know where he comes from. I can't really point out substantially what he did. Then in Abba, that was a total failure. Then we saw Okezi Bazo coming. Okezi Bazo was bettered by TUG, the same clique, the same group. But on his own side, he said he was in the beginning. To be fair to him, when he started very well. He saw how he did Okebu roads, Umola road, and some other roads. Then recently, he also did First Roads. But unfortunately, for First Roads has become a sore in the eyes of the government. After this program now, when I'm leaving, I don't even know how to leave. I have a case in court this morning. I don't even know how I'm going to meet up a case, but by the time I reach that junction there, after the BTC, the place will lock. And to navigate my car and go inside be a problem. If that was what I was thinking when I was to come to this program, how do I go back to the court? So you see that, not only that, we see a fellow of infrastructure, so some of it is that, okay, very well, but unfortunately for him, he has also fallen into the of non-performance. So to me, I don't see something to smile about. That's the truth.
All right, you see, you heard him. For him, he believes that smiling is totally not accepted when you're talking about Abia at 28. But you and I know that at every end of every dark tunnel, there's going to be a light. How would you want to perceive Abia at 28?
Abia at 28 is a kind of directionless, 28 good years of directionless. Just like my colleague has said, if you start from Ajovena down to Obama, only the tower he made, that's what we remember him for. Then we come to where my own, Timejo, the military administrator, and Ikemosu came. Ikemosu didn't last long, because even though he was pursuing students and all over, he was trying to instill discipline, which has lacked in Abia for a very long time. And this is one of the things we're having here. Then go further, the August era, he came in here, everybody had high hopes, and above all was going to do a lot of things. And we found out that the administration did not do much. TLG came, everybody saw it was a waste of time and all that. But I have to give kudos to Okezi Dazo for the little time he came on reign. You can see, like my colleague also said, the roads he started with and all that. They were good. But the fact remains that he has to do what? In this second time, he has to up his ante. Because the people are looking forward to a better Abia state. And he is the man, he has good educational qualifications, he is well bred, come from a good background of a Christian family. Everybody, all roads are with OKC Bajo, Abia state will go further. So this is the 28th anniversary we are celebrating. And they started just a couple of days ago. But I want to use this opportunity to say that I got angry yesterday when some people in the so-called agencies of government, when we are celebrating a 28th anniversary.
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you short, please. I apologize. We'll come to that so we can quickly address the topic. Okay, gentlemen, you and I know that security plays a vital role in every economy. And of course, Abia State has had its own shares right from the day of the notorious kidnapping, talking about OCC Kanku. And till date, people believe that security has hindered a lot of investors coming into Abia State. Do you share the same opinion with them?
Yes, I share that opinion. Actually, I personally, I was a victim of the insecurity when I was attacked by some from government in my house, and they shot me close range. I fell, broke my leg. I was in the hospital for 1 year because of insecurity. So you see that when I'm talking about insecurity, I'm talking about what I actually experienced. So the thing left a mark on me. So the truth about it is that Abia State have not really done very well when it comes to security. That the Abia has been a very bad hawk, especially on the axis of Obinwa side, on the axis of Ubunabo side, on the axis of Isialangwa side. My close friend Ikechukwu Bumna was kidnapped the other day. They shot him in the leg, an Angwa man. They shot him at Isialangwa. Right now he's still on torches. They shot him severely. Kidnapped him, collected ransom and shot him, and then shot the guy who was with. So that's my best because a lawyer. I personally have my own experience. So many other people have their own experience. From the Hill side, from the Hill to Isialangwa. You see that area has become a no-go area. Nobody wants to go to Hill again. I lived in Hill. I have houses there, but I have packed out from there. I don't even like going there. Whenever I'm going there, I go disguised because of the insecurity. And unfortunately, Hill is also a part of Obinwa, where the governor comes from. So with all respect to the governor, the security in Abia State has come. I was in Abuja 2 days ago. I was with somebody. He was telling me that
Abia State won the third safest state in Nigeria. What do you make out of that? If you take a look at the days of OCC Kanku and to the present situation, don't you think the state government has done a lot in time to quell? Of course, we cannot eradicate kidnapping 100%, but yes. Do you think that the state government has done so much that, you and I know in the early 2002, a lot of people, businesses had to be crippled down. A lot of foreign companies had to leave Abia State and go to neighboring states like Imo, Akwa Ibom, Calabar to start up. But look at the present situation. Do you think the state government has done so much?
To be fair to both parties, the truth about it is that it is no longer the way it was before. OCC used to be the kingpin of kidnapping. And that was the time when this Captain Tijani Balarabe was also in Abia. You know he was in Abia. Yes. Then he later moved on to Taraba State. So OCC was going this way as a kidnapper then. And that was the time of TH. The military came without the government knowing it. The military came and destroyed the guy and shot him and killed him and took him to the government house. So the truth about it remains that at that time was too hot. It's no longer the way it is now. It is no longer as hot as it used to be. That's the truth. The truth about it is that right now kidnapping is still a thriving business. And somebody giving the state Abia State award and the person is not being realistic. Let's be honest.
How do you mean not being? Okay, it's not being
realistic.
How do you mean?
Yes. We see the other day you saw that young man that was killed the other day by people. Every day in the morning we still see kidnapping going on. You know, so I was still see kidnapping. They see a lot of kidnapping going on. You know, so I was still kidnapping. So everybody is telling you, I have been to Abuja. I lived in Abuja. I've been to Lagos. I stayed in Lagos. I what now will you compare me with Enugu? Even is only this his man. Enugu is very safe. I was in Enugu for 6 months. Enugu you say Enugu no issue of kidnapping is maybe it's not you can't even hear about it. It's only this his man that's every this one that's every the other. So the Enugu 3 places I have been, Enugu, Abuja and Lagos are far safer than Abia State. How can somebody come and give an award that Abia State is the 10th most safest state? That award is a very ridiculous award. That's to my own opinion.
Okay, I see you. Looking at the way the security issue was in the past and comparing to what it is at the moment, do you think the state has fared when it comes to security?
I think the state has fared a little bit better from what it was when the TRG's period. There's a kind of sanity. But then we have not got it right fully. The government of Abia State has to do so much. We have to imbibe the way the Anambra vigilante groups operate from all the communities. We have to pick people from all the communities. We meet with 50 people and train them. Give them the gadgets, give them the vehicles to be moving around because they know the people around. It's a situation where people come and take people from here, like he was saying, Obo Hill is the criminal zone of Abia. When you go to Kwangwa area, they call Kwangwa area, you see people who call themselves Aro boys and all that. They are all over the place. So we need to, the government is doing, but they need to do more. Because the present government has done better than Lodge's government, TRG's government. In all applications, let's give it to them. You know, so we should really mention TRG's government as a government. So I want to ask him, I want to employ him. The government of OKZ should do much more.
Okay, Isidro, I'm still holding to your words, but let me ask you this, and I need your candid opinion. It takes two to tango, they say, the government and the people. We'll be talking about the government. Let's talk about the people. We as citizens, we as Abians, have we also done our own part? Of course, there was a slogan that was going out. If you say something, say something. Have we been saying something?
I think, yes, I share with you that the problem we have here, if you go out on the streets, you see them murmuring at the corners. They will not come out, and yesterday, like I was present an incident, when we ask them come up and say something, they say, I won't talk. I don't want to be, they want to talk. I don't want me to talk. Who will talk for you? The lines are there. If you are seeing young men doing the wrong thing, call the police. If you are seeing young men doing the wrong thing, call the whatever. They will not do that. But whenever it happens, they say, hey, this government is not doing well. This government is not doing well. Because many people are not out there to speak out. If you see something, say something. That is the slogan. And we need to imbibe it. The people have to be proactive themselves. When you stay in your environment and you see people taking Indian here and there, and they have nothing doing, they don't go out in the morning, they stay till the evening they see them going out later in the night, report to the police. When the police come and cross-check what kind of people they are, many of them are not doing anything, then you see them on the road, you know. So, but despite of that, this government, this administration has done well more than any other administration that has been in this place.
Okay, we heard it, but it's the Emperor. The other different opinion, because we'll be talking about the government. We, as individuals, as a people, how have we fared in contributing our quota to security in our state?
Well, the truth about it is that there should be a synergy between the government and the people when it comes to the issue of security. But then, I don't want to lay the blame solely on government, because we all know that individuals have a very big way to play. And when you talk about government, also we talk about the police. Nigerian police, with all respect to them, they are not really doing too well. The police only sit up when their member is attacked. Look at the way they were able to arrest.
No, the Nigerian police have been very spectacular when it comes to doing their job. If we give the right equipment, serious.
You still say, for me, I'm a player in the system. I'm a lawyer. I go to police every day. I was the police yesterday. And I go to police almost every day. I can speak more with all respect than most people, because it is my job. The thing about it is that here in my area, the corruption in the system is not really helping issues. So a crime is being committed in your street. You tell the police, some people in my street are smoking in their hand. Police will tell you to come and write petition. You write. Police will tell you to bring money to make entry. You bring. Police will tell you bring money for the approval of the petition. You bring. Police will tell you bring money for us to go and make an arrest. You bring. Police will tell you why are you giving the but I mean you're a human rights activist. No, I'm not about and you made the right procedure. Yes. If a policeman is asking, but one of the greatest problems that we've always had is that we give in easily. Let me answer. First of all, I want to know about myself. I'm talking about, when I say you, I'm talking about the Nigerian system. They don't pay money. What will happen? You have a vision to the police, report the crime. You didn't even bring money. If the area command here, they tell you to bring 3,000 naira or 4,000 naira to prove it. They are hearing me. They all see me. They will make us in it. Go to area command. You will pay money before they approve the commission in the area command.
Have you tried talking to the person in charge?
Take it to the area. We don't allow to see him. You want to see the area commander. What is this for?
The commander's number is different.
Let me tell you the truth. The truth about it is that it is no, you cannot achieve anything without money. Even zone 9. Go to zone 9, they ask you for 10,000 naira approval. Go to commission of police office, they'll ask you for 10,000 naira approval. If you don't give the money, your position will be there for 10 years, they will not call you. You call the phone, your position will be mission and telling you the truth and the player. Now you want to start fighting, say I will not give money. Your friend will leave you alone and lawyer because your friend feel that you are not doing the job. The truth about it is that the Nigerian police is all about money. Give them, if someone is committing a crime, police, they will not come. They only come when they know that you have sent them. You are giving them money to buy fuel, you are giving them money to mobilize them. Somebody commits a crime, they will not, it's only money. So when we talk about Nigerian police and security, I will just laugh. It is all about money. Police will arrest you, they will arrest this man, they will only bail. When you pay the bail money, it's only you have paid the bail money. Alright, that's the first well, so some of the refugees in United States, so let me just go back to the same. United States, when we talk about the issue of security, there should be a signage between the Nigerian government, president people. But the problem is that if you give information, are you protected? Police will always tell you that they are protected. But let me tell you about the police. When you give information to the police and police arrest somebody, when you arrest somebody, in the law 1 seconds, sometimes you will see the policeman telling the criminal, it is this your people, it is people in your street that reported you. It is this. I'm telling you what I was about. It is people in your street, it's people in your house, it's the time you know it. That's what you remember.
You tell us from going right.
You ask me if you tell you. When the criminal comes to your house, they go, I ask you, are you not the one who reported you to the police? What will you do? Let's be honest with ourselves. It is always easy to talk, but practicality. So, but back to the system. You see, there's something that the Enugu State governor is doing. Enugu State governor want to establish forest guard. You must have heard about it. The forest guard. What is the forest guard? What's the duty of forest guard? These are civilians. They're equipped, they're given some things, they go to the forest, they will protect the forest because they know that kidnapping is mostly done in the forest. They will kidnap somebody, they take you to the forest and hide you there. So right now, they are not forest guards. These forest guards stop his men from doing what they are doing. They stop kidnapping. That is why Enugu State is very, very safe. Okay, see, Basu can also borrow leave from that thing. Let him establish a forest. Nothing wrong with borrowing a leaf. Nothing wrong with learning from somebody. Everybody, because civilization is all about when I discover something, you enhance it and you enhance it. So I am speaking to the governor right now, let him establish forest guards in Abia State. You see that forest in Tobimbo, where they keep people in those areas, when you're going to Omboko, all those areas where the kidnapping is being done. From Omboko down to Iselangwa, side to Tomoba, that forest there should be a guard there. There should be guards in so many places. So Road, that Osakalo Street, that area, there should be these forest guards. Anytime you see forest, that is where the kidnappers go, and nobody likes to go there. The thing about it is that let the governor establish a forest guard in Abia State, and let it not only stop at Aba, even in my place in Iten. There should be people there who will be guarding people there. Because if you kidnap people here and you take them there, it's still something.
Gentlemen, for time's sake, Isibio, of course you were heading. Do you have any contribution to what?
No, I share the sentiment of the governor establishing forest guards as well as vigilantes in the communities. So that will help up, to secure the state. He's doing well, but we need to go further.
Gentlemen, the average Igbo man is known to be very industrious, is known to be hardworking. At what point did we start losing it, even as Abians? At what point did we get involved with kidnapping and the rest? At what point did you think that we should start getting it all wrong?
I think we started losing it when we started flaunting. Those who have made it either in government or whatever are flaunting the wealth they have got. So these young boys are no longer prepared to walk or even to there's a saying that when they born you, you will crawl. After crawling, you stand. After standing, you walk. Then after walking, you start running. Today, they want to be born and then they start running. That's the problem we have. Until we make people recognize that Money is not everything in life. Money is good. It's a means to an end. It's not an end in itself.
Okay, just hang on, and let's see what the caller is. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from? Okay, go ahead.
I was talking on the other hand at Sama Police. I think of policemen and some of the police. They stopped me, I took my machine, I took my ID card. Later they came back and asked me to give them $10,000 that they free on the system. I left them. All this, the security we are having in our country, well, I am a registered grantee. After that, is that good? Give normal, give nobody the card, give my police, and you give the ID card.
All right. I'm sure the two gentlemen you heard him. He said he was accosted by policemen yesterday, and his motorbike was seized from him after he has identified himself as a local vigilante. But the first question is he entitled to a motorbike, knowing fully that the state government has put a stop to that?
That's the thing now. You see, it is not really, you cannot really judge from one side. There's always what you call all the operant pattern, listen to both sides. He just made a complaint. I advise him to write a petition to the area commander. Since it's a problem, let him go to the DPO at Azoka and complain. But the people can always fish out the policemen who are duty in that area. It is not something that he will call and start making a complaint, because we are not there to know what happened. Well, to be investigated. And he said, "What if you like having a gun? He may be having a gun." And being a vigilante, the police may see him. Why are you carrying a gun? So what I'm actually saying is that I don't really. It's too close to the court to start saying this. But generally, the truth about it is that the security system, the security situation in Abia State, there should be.
What happens to the diehard? You know that the Ayimba spirit has always been there in the past, where when a situation comes up, you see people react. What happens to the Ayimba spirit? The so-called one of the number spirit that has been shared is no longer in existence anymore.
The Ayimba spirit is still there. The other thing is that it is not a problem of Abia State alone. With all respect to everybody and to without fairness, the Nigerian system, we have a failure of leadership in this country. For some years now, the leadership have been having what we call kakistocracy, leadership of the worst people in Nigeria. People who are educated. People like, look at someone Additional. Additional was with a part of the G7. You saw him. He was there. He was talking to Trump, talking to Angela Merkel, talking to Trezu, the president of Canada, talking to Macron, president of France. You saw him. So people like that. He's a Yoruba man, but I don't care. Yeah. People like that are people that ought to be Nigerian president. Yes. But what do we see? We see people who are suffering. We don't even have elementary system. People like Additional. When he was the president, when the agricultural minister, he was able to stop the fertilizer cabal. He was able to make Nigeria to be food sufficient. God, that one was good.
And now, of course, he's heading to Africa.
And he's like the African ATB, African Development Bank, Communication Development Bank. So that's people. Why can't people like that become president? Why can't people go Jura become president? Why can't people intelligent? Why can't people like RMH become president? People who are intelligent, what back be president? But think about even though there's a person who was in the World Bank. When she went for presidency, nobody wanted her. They were looking for Atiku, who had some packages of corruption, and they were looking for Buhari, who had some packages of honesty and fraud when it comes to his certificate. So these are two people, Buhari and Atiku, who has their own packages. We will not talk about the president, who was the most qualified. Our brother, what do you call it? The woman, Moralo. That's his name. Yeah. No one talk about Morale. Who was the one? I think the World Bank also. Okay. So what I'm actually saying is that it is something that has been deviating. We were here before. Slightly, it was coming down. It was coming down. And then I heard of it.
Yes, gentlemen, please, so we don't derail from our discussion. We've been taking a look at Abia at 28, and of course, our focus is on security. Gentlemen, from 1991 up to date. If you need to reflect back, what is our worst moment when it comes to security?
We have had so many bad moments, in all honesty. We had, you know, anything on Nigeria or other states? Okay, well, the thing about it, the secret period was the worst we had. That time was, the young man was flouting his money. He will come to a place where they are drinking. Everybody will hail him. He will give everybody the drink and flout it and go. And then I'm getting this feeling that even the government at that day, that he was coming to government house, yes. And that's what I heard. I don't know how true that one is. So that time was very bad. But right now, it is no longer like that. There is no doubt. There are improvements of security.
If the army could help us get off our mess, at what point again did we start having the mess coming back into our system?
It's collusion. Well, the army too. The army too is the problem. Remember what Chief Olanjuba said? Collusion. When he said that senior military men were helping kidnappers. Yes. When he said that they wanted to crucify him, look at what happened in Captain Tijani. What happened to Wadune Hamisu Wadune Bala? You see what happened there? Where in the end it was proven that it was the military that was giving this man cover. Yes. The Wadune said that whenever they come to testimony, whenever they come to military checkpoints, that he give them 3,000 naira and they will allow them to pass. So yes, the military is also helping in the problem we have in the states. So it's the same thing. This corruption. When the military man who's supposed to protect people, when he sees kidnappers, you give them his loot, he will let you go, he will do his job. So the truth about it is that there should be a systematic overhaul of the system. The Southeast government should actually come down and ask themselves, how do we stop this kidnapping? There should be a security service.
Yes. Okay, if you look at the geopolitical structure where Abia State is, of course, we are neighbors to Akwa Ibom, we are neighbors to Enugu, we are neighbors to Imo State, Port Harcourt, and so it's difficult to have all the neighboring states, and of course, you know, Abia is just at the middle, and of course, even the state government have pointed out to say some of the plights that befalls Abia in terms of security are people coming from the neighboring states. What do you think we need to do to checkmate these activities?
It boils down again to what the Anambra and the Enugu State technique.
Local vigilante.
Look, I agree.
But we have local vigilante.
Listen, I'm coming. We don't have. I agree. Listen. Forget about Bakassi. Bakassi, don't use it to.
There's not money. There's no money for.
If you go to importers, look, you know the place called Amuma. Amuma is a part of River State.
Yes.
If we take vigilantes from Ogwe, Omaka, Ogwe, Umekechi, that axis, Omekuko, they will cover the whole of that area so that people from outside that area.
Let's hold on to your thought and let's see what the caller is. Hello, good morning. Hello, caller, good morning. Hello. All right, please, you want to call us back? Please, if you must call us, reduce the volume of the TV set so we can hear you very well. Hello, you see me?
Fine. Then, if you go to Okwa East, you take down from Obunko, on Hambele, inside the whole of that area, close to Akwa on that side. You go to Obingwa, this area, close to Abala area, like that. You have vigilantes, people, indigenous, who know their forest very, very well. These people will not come in here and kidnap people and start entering of the forest.
Okay, let's see what the caller is. Hello, good morning. Hello? 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 Alright, go ahead.
So there's something wrong in borrowing a leaf. Borrow a leaf from others and then make our place better.
Okay, states, of course, even on the paper this morning, we have it that Wike is still emphasizing on state police, and of course he said that's the way to tackle insecurity in the states. Mr. Emperor, do you share the opinion that for states to wax and have security and take responsibility for every failure that befalls them in terms of security, the state police should be doing it? Do you?
Yes, I think that the Nigerian government should go to America and ask America how they do with their police. I was discussing.
Can you just hold on to your thought and let's see what the caller is? Hello? Sorry, we've lost that. Please go ahead.
I was discussing with my friend that stays in LA, Los Angeles, the other day. He told me that the reason why the police in America cannot afford to fail is that the DPOs are elected. They call him the sheriff. Yes. Every 2 years, an election is done. Yes. The sheriff. Who will be the sheriff? The people determine for themselves who will be the sheriff. If you didn't do well, the people will vote you out the next 2 years. Now, what does that mean? That means that if a policeman the DPO and the security labs in your area, the next 2 years, the people will put you out. But in Nigeria, the police know that they are not accountable to the people.
Yes.
They are accountable to the guy who appointed them. Once the guy who appointed them is happy with what they are doing, there is no problem. So I think that what we should do is to go to America and go to America. It's not state police, but the American police system.
Okay, let's see who the caller is. Hello? Hello? Oh, we've lost the caller once again. I'm sure we're having some technical problems.
So let us really. So I am not advocating for state police. Neither am I advocating for federal police. But I'm advocating for let us borrow from America how to agree their own. Seriously, I'm telling you what I know. It's a country I have been to several times, and I know that security system there is very good.
Yes.
Hello. So when something happens, let me tell you how the American system works. You are born in Houston. You are born in Houston, Texas.
That's the state. That becomes your state.
Yeah, that becomes your state. Now, when you are ruling for the police, most times it's that state where you come from that they will know you. They know your father, they know your mother. If a crime is committed, that man, because I know who lives in Road, I will just walk them when I tell them any. I know that you know who. I know this man. This is the person committed this. They just pick you up. They will tell you about your father, tell you about your mother. That's what I'm saying. The criminal, they only know him. Yes. The police only know where he comes from. Yes. They only know him as a one-on-one. Yes. So when that policeman who was born in Texas becomes rich with the deputy or anything they call it, he already understands how the security of Houston works. And it is not easy for crime to be committed there because he knows everywhere. And when he's eventually elected,
so let's come back to Abia.
Yes, so now I'm telling you, because it's a constitutional issue. It's not really Abia State problem, it's a constitutional issue. The Constitution provides for the federal police. The Constitution provides for how commission of police are being appointed. I'm saying that Nigeria should jettison its police system and let for America how to do their own policing and let us change it so that we can now have policing, local policing.
If you go to Lagos, you see the Odwa People's Congress, which is the OPC, forming a very integral part in terms of security. Of course, if you go to Anambra, you will also see strong vigilante forming part of the security. Let's take a look at Abia State, and let's start with our own Bakassi, as it's popularly called. Do you think our local vigilantes have done so much in terms of fighting crime in Abia State?
Our Bakassi has failed.
At what point?
At all points. Right today, what they do is that they just ask, somebody will just go and report a matter. Two people having a quarrel, they report the matter, they will just go and get the person without listening and deal with him the way they like. We need an overhaul of, if at all we are going to keep them to be part of the vigilante group, we need an overhaul of the Bakassi. Because at the time it was politically motivated and a lot of things happen in this state. We are aware of all those things. We need the vigilantes that come from the communities. And also, like my brother Emperor has said, let this country leadership go and borrow a lead from the American system to find out what makes they are policing very successful and active, so that we can now elect our own DPOs. The DPO for Abasa, we will elect and know if he doesn't perform, we remove him.
But it's not in our purview to elect a DPO.
No, this is the best way.
Yes.
You know, let me tell you what the government system is not working.
Yes. So even at that, gentlemen, let's be frank. Just recently in Enugu State, we saw students in Enugu coming together under one umbrella to say that the Commissioner of Police will no longer be allowed in Enugu State. Must we have to wait till we get the point of where we begin to say, okay, it's our duty to elect or say who becomes the DPO? Okay. And then no other form of us to say that, look, if a DPO is not performing very well, like you talked about that there are cases that is not only you, that people pay when you're making entry. Can we come together and make up something and say, look, we think this is not right, and we're coming to speak for ourselves as one to say we'll never tolerate this in Abia?
It can happen. But now let me ask you a question. If the youth in Enugu say they don't want a commissioner, are they now telling who will replace him? So that's the purpose of the election. Yeah. They will still, in the end, they'll still bring one man who doesn't have anything to do with Enugu to come and be the Enugu.
Just they have done.
They have done now.
Yes.
The better thing is to, the people who hold this in their hands. Honestly, let me give an analogy. the local government system. The constitution is clear. Section 7 of the constitution is clear that the local government system should be run democratically. But what are we seeing in the United States? Illegal Catholic committee. Catholic committee that is inconsistent with the constitution. And these Catholic committee chairmen are not responsible to the people, but to the government who appointed them. And who do we see? People who are
there any state in the eastern part of the country that has done an election for local government chairman? Immediately they were sworn in.
What's the constitution? No, let me answer you that. The question is this. What did the constitution say? Constitution says that the government should ensure that the local government system is run by democratically elected government. Section 7 of the constitution is there. Now, if the governors of the Southeast are not doing it, that means that it's a conspiracy by the governors to deny us the dividend of democracy. That's the truth. So it is not a question to say, let's go back. So what I'm saying, let me come again, Mr. Mike. I'm sorry. When it comes to the issue of security too, the failure to conduct election is also a part of the security problem we have. Because the government system is supposed to bring the government very close to the people. But when you are now appointing your political bootlickers, people who come up here to praise you, the next day you appoint them as community chairman, Catholic committee chairman, they will not even work. They will not work with the DPO. They will not work with the DPO, they will not work with the police, they will not work with the vigilante to ensure security. What they know is that they are sure that when they are just bowing down to the governor will continue.
Okay, I'd like to borrow my next question from Lagos State.
Yes.
And where I reside in Lagos and Apapa, of course, the Apapa know what is called AGRA, which is the Apapa security outfit that controls the movement of residents in and out of neighborhood watch. Yes. Now, and of course, every company in Apapa has one contribution to make. Let us take a look at Abia. We've seen filling stations. We've seen multinationals. What contribution have they made in terms of assessing the state? Because, like we said, it takes two to tango.
Okay, let me just give my own contribution there. The truth about it is that people contribute money when they see results. Now, set up the possibility. That's what me and Osei is saying. Let there be a front.
So the only way you could contribute is only when you see results.
No. I am trying to explain something. What I'm saying is that you contribute money and the money is embezzled. It doesn't make sense now. Let there be an outfit. Just like you said, in Apapa, there is a security outfit that keeps Agra. Do we have in the United States? We don't. Let there be a security outfit established by the government. People will really contribute money when they know the need for that thing. But the question is, there is none. So you cannot be asking about contribution of money when you have not even done something. Let there be these forest guards. Let there be this any name you call them. You don't call them forest guards. Call them any name you want to call them. But let us be responsible for maintaining security. I'm telling you, people will pay. If you understand that if the security men are here, you can stay in the night, stay by 11 o'clock with your friends in the bar, drinking and making fun. By 2 o'clock you go to your house. But do you know, let me tell you something? I was in Dubai the other day. I didn't even know it was night. I was by 3 o'clock. I didn't know the church. It was now when I looked at the sky, I saw that there was no sun. That was when I knew it was night. What am I saying? Security. People can stay out. Even in America. In America, my friend will stay with me. Who are doing it in the night? What I'm saying is that when there is security, I can call you, Mike. Where are you? You say your house, come on, let's go and break. We go somewhere and break and eat. 3 o'clock, we are back. Yes. Nobody cares. Yes. But here in Abba, what's 7 o'clock? Everyone wants to use his house. So if we are sure that the security men will keep the place safe, we will pay money. We will pay and the place will be safe.
All right, gentlemen, what's the way forward? Abia 28 security. If you need to advise, what would be your advice to make sure we up our security in Abia?
My advice goes back to the fact that I implore the leadership of our state, the governor, to borrow a leaf or even 2 leaves, one from Anambra and one from Enugu State, and come over and replicate the same thing in Abia State so that our people can secure the state. It is the owners of the state that will secure the state. That's the only way out.
Okay,
it appears that Osebio was actually in my mind. My idea is just let the governor. I posted it on my wall yesterday. Let the governor borrow leave from Anambra State and let us have forest guards. Let the governors of the Southeast. Now let me tell you something else. It is not only Abia State. I think that the entire Southeast governors should sit up and let there be a corps of people whose duty it is to safeguard the villages, safeguard the interior places where people are being kept. Because what I'm saying so is that we are chasing a kidnapper. He will run from Abia State to Akwa Ibom. because the forest guard don't have judicial appointment, they will let him go. He will go there and he come back and attack us. There should be an assigned agent between the governors and the Southeast also, so that they will have the forest guards, and those forest guards are working with guards of other states to make us secure. When the place is secure, everybody will be happy. Yes. Everybody will be happy. We will not be quarreling. We will not have a problem. When people are not secure, they will run away from your states. So,
okay. Also, let me also put things across to you. When the kids that were kidnapped, talking about the school children, because Abia said that has its own version of it. When the students from Abia International were kidnapped under the days of Osisi Kanku, and that was the same month that Abia is celebrating his 25th. It's 23rd. I beg your pardon. 23rd. Years of creation. Of course, to mark that anniversary, kids from Abia International School were kidnapped. Lagos State has its own fair share. Just last 2 years under the leadership of Ambode. And of course, what the Lagos State decided to do is to fly helicopters to areas that they believe that people will be keeping kidnappers. Well, actually, can't that be replicated as well? When we have people fly across, even with drones, to get those.
It costs so much. How many other states police command? How many helicopters? They don't even have one helicopter.
Even drones can do that. These days, helicopters are not even.
Drones can do that. But unless you're talking about this kind of drones, I saw when Pastor Chris came and they were using it to video. Is that kind of drone? Somebody can even shoot that. The truth is that I agree. These are all advanced ways of fighting crime. But the one that we can afford, and the one that will be employment, the government can reduce his political appointees, all his special advisor on public public mobilization, or what do you call it? There are almost 2,000 of them. Grassroots mobilization. I don't know what that would mean. Almost every family in the United States has a special advisor on grassroots mobilization. The government should stop all this appointment that doesn't make sense. Let him use the money and employ forest guards. Let them pay them salary and let them help us. That's a very cheap way of doing it. It provides job, it's safer, and it's more effective than go and getting helicopter or go and getting drones. Where will you see drones? Do you know how much one drone costs or one helicopter costs? So to me, that's a better way. But I assure the governor, I want to advise the governor, let him reduce his political appointees. All this special advisor on grassroots mobilization. This is a waste of our money. Let them reduce them and let them use the money to appoint forest guards. We'll be happy.
Alright, of course, this is how far we can go on the program. Because tomorrow we'll also be taking a look at Abia at 28, and we'll be looking at the infrastructure, how we've fared so far from 1991 till date. Alright, thank you, gentlemen, for making time to be on the program with us this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure having you here. Isidio,
thank you.
Always a pleasure. Congratulations to you. Yes. Abia 28. Alright, please keep a date with us tomorrow. We will be drawing the curtain for today's program, but please stay tuned for the next program on Asalachi Umabia with Kingsley Uchi. Stay with us.